us too well.
She does. That makes
We're
me feel
live
better.
now, and we've got Marlon with us right from the start, and we're late. So, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Whatever Show.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
Lawrence Winterman,
I'm Dana Dubois.
beaming to us from the bridge of the Starship Enterprise.
Y'all, does this shirt really look that Star Trek? I
You
mean,
gotta
I
wait so that
I
people
mean, that
see the
was my
black trim
first
around
thought.
the
I just
sleeves.
assumed,
it's
and then I saw you
brown.
didn't
It's
have any kind of
brown.
insignia. Like
My friend, it's total
you
Star
could
Trek.
pull out a flip
Okay.
phone and just I would embrace it.
I
Hmm.
I think I don't have a choice. So sorry that we're late. We literally got on backstage with Marlon and it just started
Yep,
going
proceeded
for it
to
I'm
immediately start
sorry.
chatting with him.
about how I look like I'm a Starfleet officer in gold, and that poor Marlon's gonna get left behind on the planet in
Yep,
red.
the black guy gets the red,
Oh,
the red shirt.
I'm
Yeah,
so sorry.
Marlon, I'm sorry, but you're the black guy
You know
in a
what,
red
man?
shirt. Like
It's not the
you're
first
you're
time.
literally the opening disaster, right?
Right.
Like we meet Lieutenant Weems and he
Guy
has
that gets
two
like
lines and then he
disintegrated
gets
or
eaten
something.
by the, crazy
Right.
monster.
And we're all like sad for like 5 seconds, and
And
then
then move on.
that's it. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry. That's just I don't make the rules of
Oh,
the Star Trek universe. I just have to live by them.
Come
As
on. We're in a post Cisco, post Captain, Discovery era. Like people of color are allowed to be captains now thanks to
that's true.
the Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Discovery and all of the progress that the 27th century has made, or whatever.
Sure, but meanwhile, who's in the gold? Who's got two thumbs? Who's in the
woman in
gold?
charge.
Right,
Me. Women in STEM. Thank you.
right. I'm clearly the side character that shows up for a minute that has to be murdered so that we can figure out where
Cameo appearance.
where Lieutenant Weems disappeared to.
Or maybe you're like a dignitary from another galaxy or something.
Right. I'm from
With
the
the
I'm from the grammarians because
the,
I'm wearing my Oxford commas and semicolons and ampersands t-shirt.
the grammarians. I love it. And they're uh they're probably gonna be like if supposed to be like the Picard, I'm gonna be very jealous of your voice because Jean-Luc Picard had like the most beautiful voice, and it's gonna be like, let's see who's more mellifluous. And that's
Right.
my
Well, but then
episode
we
I'm
need to
thinking
bring Lieutenant Weems back to life because he
of.
clearly wins the most mellifluous voice of this episode.
All right, if we have
Ooh,
any people still listening
why are
to
you
the
sending me
Daily
to my
Whatever.
dictionary? Why are you doing that, man? It's too early.
Mellifluous is one of those words that Dr.
You got to
Timony
figure out
taught
how
us.
to use it in a sentence. Believe me, I like that word.
Oh my gosh. So Lawrence, in this week so far, the last 2 days, we've referenced both Dr. Heiler and Dr. Timoney.
Right.
So we're like sixth grade and 12th grade, very impactful English teachers in our lives.
Yes.
Um, that makes me really happy to
Yeah.
hear their
Marlon,
names.
yesterday we were talking with Dr. Mary Marshall, who
Oh
was
yeah,
such a delight to have on the show. And she
yes,
was telling us about her career as an educator. And there was this interesting moment where she talked about being the only black educator in a mostly white school. And um, Dana and I had an English teacher in the sixth grade, Dr. Heiler, who was one of maybe
Scared the
two
shit out of
black
me.
teachers
Yeah,
in our school.
she was
okay.
And
tough.
part of what, and this is actually kind of nice synchrony to have you here today because you and I spoke about reparations the last
That's
time we
right,
were
we
on
did.
together. And Dr. Heiler is who taught me about reparations. Like Dana and I, so Dana took away from Dr. Heiler's class newspaper layout, and that's kind of why Dana became an editor of the high school newspaper. And what I took away from
Eventually.
her class was like reparations and justice, and that was kind of the reason it's been a lifelong kind of passion of mine of like this is a very fair thing to do. Why are we not doing this? So
Mm.
it was great to talk to Dr. Marshall yesterday and be
Yeah.
Yeah,
reminded of
she's great. I have known her for a few years. The two of us are members of this consortium that actually started when we were all on Medium. So this predates Substack, Writers and Editors of Color.
Yeah.
Get it?
I
Woke.
I wish I'd known you on Medium. Well, we were over there
So,
at the
so
same
yeah, I
time.
mean, we would have a every Sunday like a meetup on Twitter, what was in Twitter, and the audio thing that you can do, and there would sometimes be 20 or 30 folks, and we'd have these discussions about, I mean, we at one point we did sort of a book club with the 1619 project, where we have a meetup every, once a week to talk about a chapter and that sort of stuff. But yeah, Dr. Marshall is, she's a real one, as they say.
Absolutely.
She really
Absolutely. And she's
is.
here in
It
the
was,
chat. So hi,
I
Dr.
know.
Marshall. I was going to say
It was,
your ears are ringing, but we're literally talking to you and acknowledging that you're here. So it's not just ears ringing. We had such a fun time meeting her and speaking with her yesterday.
we did. And then
Um,
Lawrence and I continued that conversation because we had talked about Dr. Heiler on air, that I was like, wow, I haven't thought about her in a long time. And, we were 11 when she was teaching us. And so pretty young. And we grew up in a super white neighborhood. So we hadn't had a lot of exposure. I had a couple of Black teachers in elementary school, but the school itself was very white. And back then I didn't understand her. And now, decades later, revisiting the influence and the impact that she had on both of us, I was like, oh, I think I get it more. Like, Dr. Heiler insisted you call her doctor. She showed up in suits every day for us,
every
like
day,
every
dressed
day.
to the nines, every
Idiot
day.
11-year-olds, like bright colored, like bam suits. And she
Mhm.
was real strict with us. And we learned a ton, but I was kind of terrified of her, because I was young
Right. She
and
was a
she was strict and
personality,
scary.
capital
Yeah.
P personality.
Believe it. I'll tell you, and this comes up every time the subject of education comes up. I mean, I was just talking to Egberto Willis yesterday, and
I heard part of that one.
I saw you show up, and
Yeah.
Egberto and I get into it, like we just
Yeah.
sync up so well.
Yeah.
But I went to segregated schools, and Lawrence, I think we talked about this when
We
we were
Yeah.
did.
doing the reparations thing.
Yeah.
And um, it's so interesting to me that for the most part, we've just resegregated our schools without Jim Crow,
Yep.
because Hallie and Ben, Shannon and our kids, I mean, they're out of school now, which I'm glad, just given, the climate. Ben's in college, but, I'm talking about, high school and that sort of stuff. But they went to a high school that is a public school in a district that's probably, last time I checked, maybe 20 or 30%, not quite 30. I'm going to say 20 or 25% Black. The county. The school, on the other hand, 3% Black. So
Three.
three. There are more Asian kids that go to this school than there are Black kids, and Hispanic kids even. And so, I would take them and pick them up to school, and it was just like they were like the Central High, 9. I mean, there's so few black kids. It just was amazing, and that can't be accidental, right?
Right.
Mm-mm.
No,
And
there's the whole system design
yeah,
that,
I mean,
yeah.
I had Black teachers until I was in the 7th grade, so that was sort of my first experience going to school with white people. And on the other hand, my kids, I mean, think about this. We're supposed to have made progress.
Mm-hmm.
My kids, my daughter never had a Black teacher, 1st grade all the way to 12th grade. And not
That's
just in
remarkable.
North Carolina. She started off in New Jersey. and never had a black school teacher. Our
Yeah, that's
son
fine.
had I think maybe his junior year, he had, a coach that was also teaching another subject, right?
Hmm.
And he had that guy, but otherwise,
We
no.
all know that guy, that teacher
Yeah,
who's
I
like,
mean,
I'd
and the
rather be on the
class was
field.
something like, oceanography or something, you know,
Right. Yeah.
something. I mean, it was, I'm sure he enjoyed the class, but yeah, he never really had the experience of having, and I can tell you how important that is. If I can just wrap it up here. My first grade teacher, Miss Roundtree, I stayed in contact with Miss Roundtree well into college. Whenever I
Oh,
would come home, I would go by her house and say hello and, take her, some little something, a card or whatever. She would send me a birthday card. I mean, and this woman was like the person you're describing. She was
yeah.
very strict. Back in the days when
Yes.
the teacher could take a strap to you because, and they just had such a vested interest in us being somebody, because we're
Yeah.
talking about the 60s. And so the
Right.
expectations were so low. But yeah, all my teachers knew my parents and would pick up the phone if I got out of line.
Hmm.
Which I'm sure
Yeah.
you didn't do.
Oh, no, never.
Right.
Never. No trouble at
I
all.
I'm
There's
thinking of like
no glimmer of troublemaking in those eyes.
No, no, not me. Huh.
I, I am trying
And
to
I
think
did
of a
some of the craziest stuff in elementary school.
Did you?
Yeah,
You
I
were a
did.
troublemaker?
Well,
You're a
no, it was
troublemaker.
just, not criminal stuff, but just really kind of. So, you know how the teacher has to go somewhere and they put somebody in charge,
Yes, I
to
do.
take names. Well, once I was the take names kid, and two guys kind of got into it, and I took them to the office, to the principal's office. I got in so much trouble
Did
because,
you? It
oh,
sounds like you
I
did the
did,
right thing.
because the teacher's not really supposed to be leaving the class. So I
Oh,
kind of
oh,
exposed that we were
Oh,
unattended. I
right.
thought I was really, stepping
Right.
up.
And you're rolling up there with like your new sheriff star on your
And I
lapel,
took
like
those dudes to the office. Got
oh,
some kids fighting in here,
oh my
right.
gosh.
Yeah, these two are
Little,
causing trouble. I wanted to
Yeah,
bring him to you, ma'am.
and boy, did that
And the principal's
backfire.
like, your teacher's not there, huh?
little Marlon. I can just imagine how
Yeah.
cute you were. I can't think. I'm thinking of my daughter's elementary school. Not only did they not have a black teacher, I can't think of one at the entire school.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
mean,
sixth
the
grade. Sixth
other
grade
than the
they had one,
coach,
but
there
yeah.
was at this high school for the longest time there was not a black teacher, like a for
Yes,
real, just a teacher. As far
the
as I
coach.
know,
The coach was a black
the
man.
coach was the guy. Yeah, oh yeah, the coach,
Yeah.
the football coach. Come on, I mean,
This was elementary school, so he was like PE
but it
coach.
was, I mean, and it's stuff that you don't think of. So, for example, my daughter has done, when she was in college, she did a lot of community theater,
Yeah.
SpongeBob
Yeah.
musical and all of that kind of stuff, and did very well, got nominated for stuff. But when she was in high school, she was always in the ensemble. So they did Macbeth. She tried out for Lady Macbeth. Well, they're not going to have my little black daughter kissing Macbeth, the white boy. And
Yeah.
so she never could. I mean, so if you saw her in high school, you would have thought she had no talent at all because she was always in the background. In fact, um, they were going to do Hairspray, the music,
Oh, yeah, that's such a good show.
and they canceled it because there's a particular song that requires two people of color to sing. Well, they only had my daughter. So they said, instead of going and finding a black person, like maybe in the choir or something, they just, we just won't do that play, you know.
Oh my God. I'm so
Damn.
sorry.
Yeah, you know what? That stuff makes you stronger, though. I mean, like I said, when she went to college, she just blew up. I mean, she got nominated for Best Actress and all this kind of stuff. So,
Good for her.
well, I think she had something to prove too, you know.
That it's not the same issue at all, but the same result of my younger child is very into theater, and it's kind of a newer passion. Um, in middle school it started, and she's now in high school, and she has auditioned for 4 school plays
Hmm.
over the 2 years, and she has gotten in 0. And she won't get into other activities because all she wants is to be cast in the school play, and it's very heartbreaking. High school theater is an asshole. Yours for
Yeah,
different
it really
reasons, but
is
it
because
really is. Yeah.
I mean, in my daughter's case, there were certain parents that would donate money for
Yeah.
set construction. Well, how are you going to tell like somebody that just plunked down a couple of $1,000 that their kid
Is
isn't going
it?
to get the lead role? Come on.
I
Yes.
wonder if that's
Yeah,
happening at my kids' school too, but I'm
wouldn't
not
surprise
really
me a bit.
willing to do
Actually,
that.
yeah, I probably it is. Now that Marlon has brought it up, that makes a
Yeah.
lot of
I mean,
sense.
the program itself was great, but
Yes.
they only had my daughter. I mean, we're not talking about the 60s. This is 4
Yeah.
years ago. And my daughter was the only Black person in the whole theater troupe.
I see a lot of, yeah, as a theater kid, can confirm. It's happening, Dana. It happens everywhere. Okay, so I need to go plunk down some money for her
Right,
Oh,
right.
school.
You need to make a donation.
well, you know, throwing money at stuff like that. I mean,
Ugh, I
Yeah.
don't have the money to do that. Ugh, I'm a podcaster right now, you
I,
guys.
I'm going to
Uh,
make the most inelegant segue ever.
let's
But
do it.
Marlon, you mentioned football coaches, and can we
okay.
agree that Signetti might be the best college football coach?
Lawrence
I'm
lives in
gonna,
Indiana, y'all, so we
oh,
Right.
have to give
okay,
him his moment.
okay.
Being a reclaimed Hoosier, having been here for 2 years now.
You know what? Good for you because they played Miami, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Miami last night.
And I got to tell you, Miami kicked our asses in Arkansas back in the day. Ooh, in a very embarrassing way. This is like, I guess, sort of the Deion Sanders era where they just were basically a pro team. So I am more than happy to see somebody take it to Miami.
It is a pretty remarkable story that this guy came into Indiana and, which is a basketball school. Like it has been a basketball school forever
Exactly.
and ever. And football is just nothing here. And he was basically like, I win. Google me. And kind of gave these very
Wait, what?
yeah, when he introduced himself to the crowd, to like the student body and everything, people didn't know who he was. And he got up and gave kind of this very terse, kind of weird speech where he was basically like,
Yeah.
he's like, hey, I win. Google me. Uh,
What did
because
that mean? Like Google my record and that
yeah, like
Yeah,
I
Google
always
my
get
record. Like
things.
go look
check me
at my
out.
record. I have a history of winning. They hired me here because I win.
Okay.
And
Okay.
he kind of, there was a lot of smack talk, and he
But it
proved
ain't
it.
bragging if you can actually do it, though,
I,
right?
right, exactly. That that's like literally
Okay.
100 headlines today are like,
He said he would.
right. He said he was going to do it, and he did. It's a 16-0 season.
I have to tell you, I have not kept up with football that much in the last couple of years. Just, I don't know. Okay, I used to have a football problem. I'm in a 12-step program.
Uh-huh.
No, man, I used to.
Are the 12 steps as you walk back and forth in
Yeah,
front of the
dude.
TV watching football?
I will tell you how bad it was. My daughter, little bitty girl, and she, the cartoon watching age. And on Sundays, I would get up because I had like a dozen fantasy football teams that I just was managing like simultaneously.
Mhm.
So I get up at 7:30 and I got the NFL network on or whatever. And whenever I would get ready to change it to a football game, my daughter literally, and Shannon's sitting over here, I am not making this up. She referred to the clicker as the football button. because she associated the remote with football because,
Mhm.
and so like when I would get ready to, I mean, she would literally start crying. Daddy's
Oh.
got the football button. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, it got out of hand because if you're on Sunday, man, you started. Well, I would literally start watching all the different fantasy football shows, and then that would carry into I had the super fan thing with like 8 different screens, and then what? The late game it's 11 o'clock at night, and all I'm doing is watching football.
Mhm.
Doesn't leave much time for anything else,
Nope.
family.
That's how I grew up with a dad who, that
Had
was
the
all
football button.
a football,
Football
every
button.
sport button, and gambling on every game. So it's why I like you see me fogging out right now. It's like childhood trauma that I'm just like la
Well, I
la
have to
la. I
say,
don't know sports.
amazingly, I had no interest in gambling at all. I never
Mhm.
gambled on anything. I think because I ran a trading desk, and that was just enough stress for me. And that was other people's money. So
Yeah.
I just
Right?
had no desire to move the stress to my own personal money. So I guess,
Oh, you just
Yeah.
wanted to watch for the love of the
I just
game.
liked football, man, a lot. But, between just the injuries, I mean, like, players that I had sort of grown up with start dying in their 50s and all this kind of stuff. It just took a lot of it's hard to watch. I mean, when I was a kid, you like to see guys get jacked up, but then when you're an adult and you realize, that shit's just like being in a car wreck.
Right.
It
Yeah.
just stopped being fun to watch for me. And then, Colin Kaepernick, that sort of sealed the deal
Yeah,
with
yeah.
me in the
That-
NFL. I do watch occasionally college football, but Arkansas has not been much to to watch of late. So
Yeah. I do love Colin Kaepernick.
hey, you know what?
Dreamy.
That's stuck to his guns, and in a
Yeah.
way, he's kind of like a Muhammad Ali figure if you think
Mhm.
about it. I mean,
Yeah.
he
Absolutely.
gave up a lot,
Oh yeah.
and
His
boy,
career.
was he right or what?
Right.
I mean,
I
Yeah,
mean,
honestly, like the
unquestionably.
split screen that we exist in right now, yesterday we were talking with Dr. Marshall about, Martin Luther King Day and the legacy of Dr. King and, you know, and Minneapolis and ICE and Trump and the insanity, just everything we're living through. And it's such a crazy split screen, right? To think about people
Yeah.
were up in arms because he was taking a knee during the national anthem to point out that police violence against black men and people of color is real. Are you kidding me?
yep.
We couldn't do that. We couldn't acknowledge that truth without it breaking everybody's brains.
Right. And there's never been a like, well, yeah, that guy was kind of right. There never will be.
I mean, we can say it. I
Right,
mean,
right. But
we
the
knew he was
other
right
side,
when he was, yeah.
the other side will never change their mind. And that,
You know
like,
what? I just thought of like during the time that was going on, my daughter was in the high school I was just talking about. I'm
Mhm.
pointing down the road here, 10 miles down the road, which is a whole different story. And she got a test one time. She brought it home, and it was one of those multiple, where you draw a line from one thing to the other one.
sure.
And I forget how it was worded, but it was something like Colin Kaepernick taking a knee was.
Oh my God. What were the
And the
choices?
only word that it would, match with was blasphemous.
Oh,
This was a test.
no.
I had to be settled down because I was literally, I
Oh my
just
God.
was like, but yeah, these teachers would weave, this crazy MAGA stuff. Like she had a Spanish teacher who ultimately got fired for coming to work on the sauce. But, she gets in the car one day and she's like, Dad, what do they call it? The caravan. Yeah. She's like, Dad, what's the caravan? And I'm like, well, why? Well, my Spanish teacher was talking about the caravan. It was like, how does that even? Yeah, yeah. She's talking about the caravan in school.
The grammarian in me, I'm offended that the only word it can match up with blasphemous, in part because, of course, it's programming the kids with,
Yeah.
racism, overt racism, but also because it's not blasphemy.
Well, there was
God
actually
isn't involved there. Like
a
it's
kid
the
on
country,
the
the flag, it's football. It's not God.
well, yeah, maybe not in Indiana, but
And well, no,
in
I'm
North
sure in
Carolina,
Indiana it is. I
you
just,
know,
for
Right.
me,
everything is Jesus, but
yeah.
um but no, there was another teacher that actually there was like a kid, the football team, the black kids on the team had started taking a knee during the national anthem. And
Good.
one of the running backs got injured, end of the season kind of thing. And the teacher actually said, something like, good for him. He deserved it for taking a knee.
Oh, do you hear this?
Yeah.
Do you hear this? Kira is, she can't hear it. It's in my
Yeah.
headset,
Well,
but
I'm
she's
telling you,
upset and she's comforting us right now.
That
and what do
shit
you
is
even
insane.
do with that? I just, yeah, I'm just glad they're out. I mean, because that was 4 or 5 years ago. So imagine now how it is.
Oh, we see how it is. There's
But can
people.
you imagine having,
Yeah.
well, you have a kid in school, but
Yeah,
it's a whole different thing over here in North Carolina, y'all.
it is. So I did just find this will be a nice transition when we were getting ready for our MLK show yesterday. I had this flashback to a drawing that my now senior in high school daughter did when she was in kindergarten. And I was like, I don't organize. I have like 80,000 photos in my camera roll. Like finding things is tricky. So I couldn't find it. But thanks to the magic of Facebook, it just popped up as a memory today because,
Oh,
MLK Day moves off. And so I just put it up on Substack. And I think I can capture the link here. Copy link. And I will plunk it in the chat. But she did this drawing, and both of my daughters are avid artists and always have been. This is obviously quite elementary because she was just turned 6 when she made it. But it says it's a moon, and it says the sun can dance under the sun, and then on the other side with the moon, and the sun and the moon are holding hands.
oh,
And she said to my dad, which makes this funnier because he was a real racist fuck before he got dementia. He was out here visiting. I learned this from Martin Luther King. The sun is light and the moon is dark, and the sun can dance with the moon. That was what she took away from her MLK chapter at school, and she drew that. And I was like, and my dad was horrified, and I was so happy. And I don't have a profound thing to say there other than in the blue cities at her very white school with no black teachers, which is not great. They studied MLK in very positive ways. And if someone had come after Colin Kaepernick or had said some of these hateful things, like there would be repercussions. I
well,
do
that's
feel
good.
certain of that. There's all kinds of other problematic things happening, but like some kids are being raised in the atmosphere my kids were raised in, and we're about to unleash them on the world, and they're ready to fight, I hope.
Well, they might
Yeah.
save us. I mean,
Yeah.
my kids are very aware of, because now Hallie Claire is 22 and Ben's
What a
20.
cute name.
Yeah, well, there's a story behind that, but I won't bore you guys with it. Plus, my wife's sitting right next to me over here. I
Uh-oh.
would like to
Is this a
live.
compromise?
I prefer life instead of.
Hello, Marlon's wife.
So we will save that for another show when
Mhm.
she's not around. but yeah, I've mentioned this before, just like really perverse backwards way. The pandemic was actually good in the sense that they were doing all this homework. And, they had to get online and, teach, they would live stream. And then they started using vendors when it became obvious that this was going to be like a long-term thing. And I would sit up and, I would, for the first time, really get into, okay, what are you doing today? What's your assignment? And it was like I was homeschooling them in a sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there was just so much that they just were not getting taught. I mean, like electoral college, basic civics.
Right.
It wasn't that they were dumb kids. They just weren't even, it just didn't come up. And the day that I found Hallie Claire doing an assignment and the reference material was from the Heritage Foundation.
Ooh.
Oh, hell no.
I was like, Dad's got to get granular with this crap, because, they are slipping stuff in here that's, what possibly could you be getting from the Heritage Foundation?
Right.
And so I had to explain to her. That's when I took up the whole thing, because at that point I had started my newsletter, and I just really got involved in just the whole critical thinking thing. And, okay, I'm going to give you 10 sources and you tell me which one, you rank them, that kind of thing. And so, I mean, I made their homework assignments a whole lot more meat on the bone than they would have liked, but so what,
Yeah. Well, and I mean, thank God you did, right? Because now your kids have that skill of critical thinking and they need it more than ever in this crazy world.
And it's, what? I occasionally do I haven't done one in, I think maybe last April was the last one I did, but there's a business school, University of North Carolina, Wilmington's about 20 miles from me. And so I did one on misinformation. This, it's like I hate to call it a lecture, because I'm just, I'm a guy with no college degree telling these, don't do what I did. But
sounds like a lecture to me, but carry on.
It is. I mean, and there would be, I don't know, 75 or 100 kids, and and I did this lecture on misinformation, and it kind of speaks to what we do as independent journalists. And it's also one of the reasons I don't really paywall the stuff that I write, because it's sort of, if you think about it, misinformation is almost always free. It's almost, there's no paywalls on propaganda, right?
There are no paywalls on propaganda.
Honestly,
like,
Marlon, these are t-shirt worthy sayings.
Hey man, hook me
Misinformation
up.
is always free.
It just is. I mean, and so I just kind of walked them through how to discern. And you think about it, the New York Times, all these so-called, quality sources of information, you got to pay. And so when I ask people to become paid subscribers, I'm saying to them, look, make it so that I can subscribe to these dozen, what are generally, even though the New York Times, Washington Post, there's stuff we don't like. I don't, the opinion stuff is trash. But in terms of just basic reporting, I have to have access to that stuff. And so I did this lecture, and at some point, it was like a PowerPoint thing. At some point, I made the comment that the most prolific purveyor of false information is Elon Musk. Do you know that's the only pushback that I got? Because at the end of it, 10 minutes left, questions, comments, whatever. And this young lady says, well, that's free speech, isn't it? And I'm like, well, yeah, it's free speech, but he's lying half the time. So he can say what he wants to say, but that doesn't mean it's true. And she was like, never thought of it that way. Right. I mean, so I just think schools don't spend enough time on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we have to do it. as
Yeah,
parents.
and I mean, here I am with another inelegant segue, but I am not seeing enough in the newspapers today about the crazy ass letter that Donald Trump uh, sent to
Norway?
Norway, to the
Listen,
Prime Minister of Norway. Have you
this
read the
was
letter?
a person like a
Oh yeah.
uncle, or you would, any of us would be getting the folks together. We got to do something about old Uncle Don.
I,
he's something's going wrong, man.
can I
That is
can I read the
really,
letter? It's relatively short. Can I
go ahead.
actually read it out loud
Oh
to
yeah.
everyone?
It's
Because
hard to believe.
Lawrence, can you do it with one of your voices though?
I'm not sure. I'm not
Do you
sure.
have a Trump voice?
No,
You
he
know,
has a
Nick has a
machine.
good Trump voice.
No, I don't mean that. I mean your vocoder, your new toy.
Oh, right. Here,
At least the first line.
should I read it in this voice? Like this?
No, I mean like one of your squeaky, weird Darth Vader voices. Use your new soundboard.
Oh, I thought I was
Man, you got
changing my
tools
pitch. Maybe
over
I'm
there.
not.
No, you sounded actually like
You guys have got me.
ASMR.
I got to get some of these cool headphones too. I feel like I'm, you know.
You gotta get one of these. Hi.
Maybe this?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Stop
Okay.
it.
Here's the letter.
This is a family show, Dana.
Right. From the White House, Washington,
no.
D.C.
Oh,
Dear Jonas, considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace, although it will always be predominant, but can now think about what is good and proper for the United States of America. Denmark cannot protect that land from Russia or China. And why do they have a right of ownership anyway? There are no written documents. It is only that a boat landed there hundreds of years ago. But we had boats landing there also. I have done more for NATO than any other person since its founding. And now NATO should do something for the United States. The world is not secure unless we have complete and total control of Greenland. Thank you, Donald J. Trump, President, 45th President of the United States.
Did you hear that sound Kira just made it? That's what that sound.
okay, boy. Wow, I need one of those.
Oh God.
Whatever that is, I gotta have one.
Yeah. Do the
Man,
Darth Vader
hang on.
voice.
Yeah,
for
I'll
Marlon.
send you a link, Marlon. It's this
Sound?
it's this brand called Maono. They make mics and soundboards and things for podcasting.
Needed that.
And the name makes me laugh because there's an amazing restaurant in Seattle called Maono, which makes the best Hawaiian fried chicken that you have ever had in your entire life.
I do not know this.
It's in West Seattle.
Okay.
And it's probably gone because my information is old.
We just got to spend some time on this.
Oh my God, Lawrence, will you please do the Darth Vader voice for Marlon?
Oh, really?
Oh, listen to this.
Mr. Weems, I find your lack of faith in me disturbing.
I mean, it's not James Earl Jones, but
It's
you know.
enough, though. It's close.
Oh. So I
Wow,
couldn't.
man.
I don't think I could
broke
take
a
that.
sweat.
Yeah, I had to hear that letter read it, Lawrence, because that's the tone with which we should hear it, right? Like
I wish I could make my tone every time he said something. I wish it sounded like that because it would be like on par with his behavior.
the only thing I've seen as follow up to this letter, because that news broke yesterday morning, and I was like, oh Jesus Christ. I saw Mary Trump, I think was the one who shared that the rumor is that Europe is going to capitulate to him.
What?
That was,
I
but
don't
I
think
haven't.
they are.
I
I
hope that they are
I was
not.
listening to just financial radio, because today is the start of the World Economic Forum in Davos.
mhm.
And
Yeah,
they're already embarrassing us. I
of
didn't
course.
catch it, but Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, he said something. I have to confirm it because I caught the tail end of it, but it was something like, he was predicting that the United States was going to have like 7% economic growth, but that's not good. I mean, pardon me, that kind of economic growth is just runaway inflation, right? Because the economy's too hot.
Right.
Yeah, but they're just out there saying shit. But what I heard, I was listening just maybe 10 minutes or so before we started up. It was the Secretary of the Exchequer. So UK, right?
Right.
Very proper, but she was in that UK kind of way saying we ain't having this shit. She
Yeah.
was saying something like, it's not constructive for for anyone, and just the whole idea is dumb. It's just dumb.
Right. He
And
wants it because it looks good on a map.
and the
Yeah.
problem for us is this whole threat of tariffs. If we give me Greenland or 25% tariffs,
Right. 200% tariffs on French
that's like a
wine.
kid running around with a gun. Just everything, anybody
Right.
this is I'll shoot you. I mean, it's the dumbest thing and it's so self-destructive to
Right.
the credibility of the United States.
Yeah.
I would just be so embarrassed to be outside the country right now, because
Right.
everybody's looking at you like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
And Marlon,
Marlon,
when
what do you
you say, oh, sorry, you go first, Lawrence. We just took the same tone. Marlon,
You're right.
your
What?
Well,
expertise.
no, I mean, on a financial front, we like
Yeah.
part of what I've heard is that previously, like earlier in the tariff battle, Canada and Japan and the EU basically said, "Hey, we're holding all of this American debt. It sure would be a shame
There
if we
you go.
dumped it at the
Right
same
there.
time." And I'm hearing again, what I've read and heard a couple of places is that Europe is looking at this and saying, we're going to do it this time. Like, we're going to dump U.S. debt and it will crater the dollar. And I mean, wouldn't that just trash the whole economy, the global economy,
Oh, yeah.
Marlon?
Oh yeah. I mean, you know what? I saw somebody in the chats. Oh, NATO's done, and we've been taking care of everybody. Look, folks need to recognize that these alliances post World War II, this whole construct, is the reason we're the superpower that we are.
Yes.
It's not the other way around. It's not
Right.
like we were all that and we've been taking care of everybody. No, it is to our advantage to be taking care of everybody, because that's what lets us be the guy in charge.
Right. The indispensable nation.
Yeah, it has been to our advantage, and we have certainly reaped the benefits from it, right?
Yeah.
If we didn't have all those relationships, then we would be paying $3,000 for a telephone or a cell phone.
Yeah.
Right. If we didn't have all these trade relationships with these countries and these alliances, who you think we're selling our military shit to?
Yeah.
I mean, so look,
Putting all the hearts on that.
it works both ways, right? Until now. And the problem that you've got now is, no matter who the next guy is, assuming or gal, assuming it's a Democrat, nobody trusts us now.
Right.
Nothing that we say has any
Right.
well, nobody's going to bet the farm on America's word anymore. And
Because the next
say
president
what
could
you
go out
want
there.
about how we've done, global politics. But for the most part, if we made a deal with somebody, it was a deal. So think about it. Trump is basically doing Liberation Day 2.0 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was hearing this morning from different leaders is that, you know, basically, what the fuck? We thought we just signed a deal with you 3 months ago.
Yep.
That you would not do this. So now,
Right.
it makes China look a whole lot more sane, doesn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. China has deep pockets and a lot of stability compared to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're so right, Marlon. Like, you know,
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
you're so right, Marlon. Here,
Now in your Darth Vader voice.
You're so right, Marlon.
You're so right, Marlon. Whoa,
that just sounds like
that's
burping.
dangerous, man. I need to
Mine
get
is.
that going.
Maybe it's just like this. Marlon, you are so right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. But imagine that a Democrat wins in 28, right? Like, please God. It doesn't matter how much you like that person or how much you believe in their personal integrity. No government, no country in the world is going to listen to that president of the United States and not now think, yeah, you're just here for 4 years. You people are crazy.
Well,
You could literally
already
vote for Trump 2.0.
I mean, it's already happened that, you know, Biden came in and the mistake that he made, and look, he accomplished a lot, and on paper, you know, so that's not the argument that I'm making. It's just that he thought, okay, we got Trump out, everything's back to normal, folks. I'm here, and let's go back to what we've been doing.
Right.
When what he should have done was like, what is it, Brazil? Throw this son of a
Bolsonaro.
bitch in jail.
Yeah.
You know,
For 27 years.
they all expected that was what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And you know, we have a bad habit of doing that. I saw it when, you know, I was in New York still when the financial crisis happened.
The
And
2008 one.
yeah. Yeah, I have to be specific.
You have to clarify.
Right. Which financial
The one in 2008.
crisis? We're all Gen X, Marlon. Like it could be any one.
I'm sorry. Although I was around for the one in 87 too. Thanks, Dana, for after that. But yeah, you know, you had people that should have gone at least to trial.
Right.
For some of the crap that financial firms were doing, that they had to know the outcome was going to, you know, if a certain set of things happen, it's going to be real bad. There was no way they couldn't know. And firms like paying guys exorbitant amounts of money that basically blew up the world economy. Pardon me. So we just have a habit of letting people off the hook that it's almost like the bigger the crime, the less likely you're going to have to pay for it.
Right. Honestly, too big to fail.
Yeah, it's too big to fail. And it's like what we taught Trump, basically, like commit the biggest possible crimes and we will be afraid to, you know, prosecute you or even, you know, say the words that a crime was committed because a bunch of low information voters are going to get angry that we're being mean to you.
Well, look at what's going on with Rachel Nicole Good, where her widow is being investigated. The governor and the mayor is, but the guy who actually murdered her,
right? Yeah, not him.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am very worried about Minneapolis. I have friends in Minneapolis, and I see Minneapolis as this is it. This is the turning point. And I saw yesterday Trump was threatening to send in actual military. Actually, Sunday that news came out that Trump was threatening to send 1,500 U.S. troops from Alaska trained in Arctic fighting to Minneapolis. We were going to invade our own a blue dot as a, you know, an otherwise peaceable city. I haven't heard that it's happening, but I'm not making it up. It was in the New York
Oh no,
Times.
I
It
heard
was
this.
on PBS.
Yeah.
And
And you know why they're Arctic trained? It's because it's 1 degree
yeah, oh, I know,
here
'cause
right now.
the ice agents are slipping and slide. Like the ice on ice thing is giving me life. It's all those video clips of ice agents falling on ice is like poetic and it's beautiful. But um, I see if we don't stop it here, it's like Seattle is certainly on the short list, and then like we're just a country that invades our own cities, and yet still that's not enough. People like Lawrence knows that this happened last night. I had a relative who I have not talked to in years suddenly just emerge on my Facebook wall because I had shared a first person account from someone in Minneapolis talking about what it's like on the ground. And it was just sort of a bulleted list, right? And I don't even think he's Trumpy. He was just like, you can't post this because it's not a fact. And you have to research and do facts. And I just popped off and was like, don't come at me. I have zero tolerance for this right now. Don't come at me at my wall on this. So he started DMing me about like, oh no, it's you misread me, but it's misinformation. And that's the worst thing that's happening in our country. And I'm like, and there's trouble on both sides of the ISLE of the aisle. And shh, stop that. I was like, oh my God, the both sidism is coming down here. You're not looking at what's happening in Minneapolis and saying this could be my city next. Like first of all, don't accuse me of media illiteracy, sir. Do you even know who I am?
Right.
You clearly
Cousin, do you even know who I
I don't
am?
know who
Right.
I am.
Right. And second of all, how is he was upset about like if you're blocking traffic, you're violating, you're free to protest, but you know, blocking traffic in the streets, you're not free to do that. And I was like,
Well, the penalty isn't death.
is
Ah, thank you, Marlon. I've been saying that
penalty
since
is
the
a
whole Renee
ticket.
Cole.
yeah,
Not-
Right.
right. Like
not
how
death.
are we
Right.
here? And he was just like, and then like a friend of mine who'd responded, he started DMing her. She told me asking for citations, and I was like, "You're looking for citations that ICE agents are taking people out of their homes and detaining them? Like, let me Google that for you. Like, what proof are you looking for?
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Citations?
this is what he was like. He demanding. So, I actually thought of Egberto and you because I just blocked him. It's like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not close to my cousins. I don't care.
Life's too short.
We
I
don't
used
have
to
a
try,
relationship. I
but
haven't heard from him in years. But
And
can
look,
you? And this is a Jewish man with an immigrant wife. I just like in the city. That's where we are. Of like, okay, but prove it. And I think I've gotten off on like 6 tangents from where we originally were, but how have we reached a point where what's supposed to be good, media literacy and searching for things has come to like the both sides of it is, oh, but were they following the law? I'm like, dude, they're sending in like 1,500. They're
if I
talking
can
about
just
sending
chime in, a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
of this is because people don't know how things work. Right? There's a guy that I
Right.
follow on on Instagram, and he kind of has it. When you don't know how anything or when you don't know how anything works, everything looks like a conspiracy.
Mhm.
Sure.
Okay, and you have
Fair.
people who simply do not know basic civics. They don't know anything about, like, they talk about law and order, but they don't know how things work, and they read a lot of really bad stuff. I mean, because who thinks if boy, Martin Luther King would have been dead a whole lot quicker if blocking, having martyrs and stuff was the death penalty.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the crazy thing is this particular relative, he's a year older than Lawrence and older than we are. And we went to the same high school, and the same college, actually. We got the same education. He should know better. I get what my sorry, my point was that I sort of missed along the way was I thought of Egberto and of you and of like I should sit down calmly and try to talk, and I can't. My only response is like block to burn, like I do on dating apps. Like
Hey,
I don't have any time and space for this. And I don't know which is the better way to try to impact change.
for your blood pressure or
Probably
what?
Mm,
I mean,
right.
'cause
right. I
I'm
have
telling
low
you,
blood pressure.
I'll
I
give
should
a
be able to
person
take it.
one, I mean, when I get that kind of a that kind of a response, I kind of either I'll ignore it. Sometimes I'll respond with, just like a normal response. And depending on what comes back, that's what decides a block.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, we're too busy.
Well, and you made such a good point, Marlon, about, you know, there being massive fundamental gaps in knowledge, right? Like, but years ago at this point, probably like 4 or 5 years ago, I got into an online argument with somebody who was trying to make the point that like Congress was screwing up because the House had passed a bill and the Senate had passed a bill and they were different and now they were secretly meeting. And I was like,
That's the
it's
way it
called
works.
reconciliation, bro. Like that's literally how it works. And it got me think, how do you, if people are missing giant pieces of information about how our government works, you're right. Then everything looks like a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Everything looks like misinformation. If I told you the House and Senate were secretly meeting to like hammer out their differences on a bill that they'd both already passed, like I could imagine Rush Limbaugh or somebody crazy, making that sound like a conspiracy.
That's like
You know?
somebody said in the Substack chat. It's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. I mean, the only thing that's for me as a black man, it's a close second to
Yeah.
me having to explain to white folks stuff.
Yeah.
That, I mean, one of my brothers has an exhibit. He's in Arkansas, and it's something that was originally built for the Clinton Museum, and during COVID they just sort of scrapped it, and he had the opportunity and he bought this exhibit, and it's like if you can imagine, if you're in a museum, it's like a juke joint. Like, and it's this big thing, and you walk into it, and it's like you're in Sinners almost, right? And
Yeah.
he'll invite different blues musicians to play and all this stuff. So a couple of months ago, some kids were going through taking the tour, and one of them thought it would be a good idea to write a swastika on something.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So just a couple of days ago, he sends me this voicemail that he got. I think there were two guys involved. They're in high school, obviously, they're white kids, and it's the mother of one of the kids. And apparently, I guess this where this happened is considered part of the campus of the University of Arkansas. So campus police had suggested to her that she reach out to my brother, which I guess maybe they're trying to keep from actually turning her over to her kid over to the police, and hoping they'll work it out. But I listened to this voicemail, and it was clear that she had not punished this kid in any way, and she expected my brother to educate him on why what he did was wrong. And it's kind of like, lady, you're the parent.
Right.
And this has been now, like I said, it was before the holidays. So, she's wanting to have like a teachable moment, but my brother's the one that's expected to do the teaching.
Yeah.
Right. And so, I think, this is not confined to black folks. Right. But, it's the same thing as maybe a gay person having to explain why it's okay for gay people to get married.
Right. Marlon, I was just going to say, like, I have that experience, right, where I get exhausted being, the ambassador from
For
Faglandia,
all gay
right?
people, right?
Right, like, oh, sure, ask me the question at this party because you just found out that I'm gay. And, the difference, of course, is my otherness is not apparent on the outside.
Yeah, try being the only black person in the room.
Yeah.
Everything from just anything you can imagine. Ask Marlon.
Right.
He'll know. Dude, how come black people fill in the blank?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's crazy, and it is really exhausting. It really is. But sometimes I relish in it a little bit because I get a little mischievous.
I can't tell if
what
Uh-oh.
you
Did we
can't
lose you,
tell.
Dana?
Did Dana freeze on us?
bet. I think my connection is down.
Oh,
No,
I think so.
I can hear you.
I
we
think
can see
so.
you and hear you.
You were about to say something.
Okay. You guys are coming and going. Well, I was gonna say you guys are coming and going, but I think it's me. I think the chat is I hope everyone on the live is still hearing you loud and clear and that the problem
Yeah,
is
I
on
think
my
so.
end.
Hi, it's you. You're the problem. It's you.
Thanks. It always is me. So
Wait a minute.
even
I'm
though
not the problem.
I'm
I'm always the problem.
it depends who you ask and what the problem is.
We're a little over time, but Marlon, I mean, it's par for the course. We could talk to you forever, and considering we didn't really have an agenda today, we've covered a lot of ground.
I think we have. We got to do this
usually
more often, folks. I enjoy talking to you guys.
Yes,
and we're such a great cross section, right?
Right.
We
We've got liberal Jewish mom, gay guy, black guy. Like, we're like part of a diversity panel or something here.
Right.
Talk to us about DEI. Would you like to, Mr. Trump, talk to us about diversity and inclusion?
Don't even get me started, man.
Oh my God.
Get me started on
I
DEI.
know. I had really wanted to ask you about your plans for 2026 over at the Journeyman, but I think we're gonna have to get you back on to talk about that.
Oh darn. Okay.
What do we want to do this year? We've got a lot of work ahead of us.
We definitely need you to get back on to talk about that because clearly you are plotting and building an empire over there, Mr. Weems. We see you.
We see you.
At least it's not the evil empire.
No, it is not the evil empire. It is an empire for good. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Well, we'll be in touch. Maybe we should just have a once a month, once every 2 weeks, once a quarter, whatever we decide.
You let me know.
It could be a special show, Shooting the Shit with Marlon.
You guys, I've told you this before. You're my wife's favorite show.
Aw. Thank you, Shannon.
So happy.
I am not kidding. She likes.
Can she come on one episode? Will she join?
I don't know if that's something that we want to encourage.
The fact that you're a little dubious about it makes me want it more.
I mean, hey, I'll ask.
Have her come on and say hi at least.
I mean, this would be her Substack debut,
So that would be such an honor.
And my daughter, I did a live with her right after she graduated, and I mean, now that she's free from the educational system, I have to schedule just like everybody else. And she lives with me.
Right.
Right.
I have no idea what she's doing and when she's doing it, but it's all good.
My 18-year-old is kind of the same way. In fact, I need to get upstairs and go see what my kids are up to. I also need to I need a lighting consultant. If there are any lighting experts out there, because I'm podcasting from my basement, there's very little natural light. It looks good. You got, your frames in the background, and
I think you need an uplight that's a little rosier so that you're not so
help because I have too much light coming in.
I look gray. I could go. There's a bluer light and there's a golden light.
The golden light is better.
The golden one, Is
that better?
Yeah.
Yeah, it brings out the color in the Star Trek.
You also need a little brooch that you can wear preferably in like
A
a triangle shape.
Maybe a
that you can-
different one for every show, you know.
Right.
Beam me up. There's no
Beam me up.
intelligent life
Madeleine
on this
Albright, wasn't she the
podcast.
one with the big old giant brooch? on
Yeah,
her
she had
shoulder?
a whole language of brooches. Like she would wear a brooch and be sending a coded message like, China, you should rebel. Yeah, she was famous for it.
Isn't it a brooch, Lawrence? When you said a brooch, I was like, I don't know what a brooch is.
I don't know.
think it's
Where I
Brooch,
come
brooch.
from is
brooch.
brooch.
That's how I've always pronounced the word.
I am probably saying it wrong. I
It's a
knew what you were
literally,
talking about.
I'm
That's all
thinking
that
of the
matters.
dude from Airplane who's like, I could create a bird, I could create a hat, I could create a brooch, whatever, you know. No, nobody. All right. And on that note,
Okay.
It's time to go.
All
Marlon,
right.
Thank you as always.
Yes.
Thanks
Thanks
for
to everybody
hooking
in
me
the
up. I
chat.
was so
Sorry
glad
about
to
my
hear from you
connectivity
guys.
issues here because
Oh, I don't think it's as bad as you think it is.
always we're gonna reach out again. We're getting you on the show again.
Perfect. Just let me
All
know
right.
when.
Thanks, Marlon. Thanks,
All right,
everybody.
take care. See you on the other side.
Bye. Love you, mean it. Bye.
I am cutting out.